Hey friends and strangers, what's up? I'm Laura Lily and I'm sick, so I'm sorry about the deep voice, and if I lose my voice or choke a bit in this video, I'm ill. Nothing I can do about that really. So today's video is a new one. It's a series I'm starting called Bad Role Models, and it's going to have a counterpart called Good Role Models. I don't know how often I'm going to upload these, whether it's like once a month or every couple months. I don't know. I don't know how it would fit in with my schedule. I don't know how you guys will receive it. So I'll see all the external factors and work it out from there. Let's get started. So as you can see from the title, this video in particular is about Tana Mongeau. I think that's how you say her name. Please forgive me if I'm saying it wrong. It's a tricky one. I'm not gonna lie. But yes, Tana Mongeau. And she's been around for a while on the internet. But the interesting thing about her is she's the same age as me, which makes me very sad because why aren't I famous? No, I'm joking. Yeah, she is only 20 years old. And with that in mind, some of the things she's done can possibly be blamed on naivety and being too young. Since she's the same age as me, I can't personally say that because, you know, I do things as a 20-year-old, I've done things as a 19, 18, 17-year-old, whatever, and you know better by that age is all I can really say, in my opinion. Maybe she didn't, maybe that's how she was raised, I don't know. I don't know her personally. This is not a dig at her. I need to express that so clearly. Everything I'm saying in these Bad Role Model series is just some advice to you guys on why I think maybe you should rethink having this person as a direct role model, but that does not mean in any way stop watching their content if you enjoy it. Like, I'm not going to tell you to unsubscribe to her or never watch a video again. Like, that would be insane. If you like Tana Mongeau, watch her, enjoy her. I don't care. I'm happy for you if you do. But if she is your number one role model, I would ask that you go into this with an open mind, maybe listen to some things I say and maybe step back from that a little bit and have her as just someone you're a fan of rather than someone you look up to. I guess with things like this, I've got to start from the beginning. So I'm going to start with the N-word. And this is something that's been bouncing around the internet for a few years. It's not something that's unknown. It's not something that people, maybe younger people who weren't necessarily using the internet so much at the time, didn't know it. But anyone who's been a fan of her knows, and anyone who's a fan of iDubbbz or PewDiePie or I'm Alex, they've all made videos about this. So, you know, if at some point this information will have crossed your feed, whether you paid attention to it or not. So what happened was, iDubbbz decided to make one of his infamous content cops about her. Now, I just want to say I am a fan of iDubbbz content cops. I think the Rice Gum one was insane and he killed him, essentially. But I do not agree with everything iDubbbz does. I understand completely how he says a lot of things in context, and that's really important here, is context. However, I just personally don't agree with saying the N-word at all if you're a white person, but that's just my opinion. Like, maybe some people are okay with it. I just personally don't think you should. And Tana agrees. Tana agrees that you shouldn't say this. And she made a big video about iDubbbz because in iDubbbz Content Cop, he explains that she is so, what's the word? Hypocritical. She's very hypocritical about this because there are hundreds, and I don't think that's an exaggeration, of videos of her saying the N-word, right? In no context, just like to her friends, or I don't know the context because I wasn't there, but in terms of the videos that have come out, it doesn't look good, is all I can say. So iDubbbz, being iDubbbz, decided to go to her show, put his arm around her and say bleep instead of say cheese, right? And she made a huge video on this explaining why she hated it, why it was wrong, why she felt so scared. And I totally get that. If someone came up to me and did that, I would be terrified. But you can't react that way if it's a word you've said so many times before. And it's not even like that it was when she was like 12 years old and she said it and didn't really understand what it meant or why it was so bad. These videos were from like maybe a year or a few months even before this whole iDub situation, which is why he did it, because he wanted to show that she's become this hypocrite of changing like that rather than learning or ever making a statement about it. So like I said, while I don't agree with what he did, I can't say I don't understand it, because she needed to be put in her place a little bit there. The main problem with that is you shouldn't really have a role model who says the N-word as a non-person of colour. In my opinion, this is all my opinion, please remember that. That's all I can say about it. I don't think she should have said it. I don't think she should have then made a really hypocritical video on iDubbbz for him saying it. I think if she really did feel that bad for saying it, she should have just made an apology. She should have been like, yo, I don't know if any of you guys have seen, but like maybe last year I said the N-word a few times and I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that. That was so dumb. But she didn't. She just decided to come all in to iDubbbz, and she has since somewhat remedied the situation by giving an apology. Yeah, point 1 of 3 done. The second point I wanted to come to was the whole TanaCon situation. And now this has been done to death. I don't need to go into it. You know what it is by now. And if you don't, I suggest you go and watch PewDiePie's video explaining it, or Shane Dawson's series explaining it. But I'll give you a brief rundown. So what it was Tana didn't like VidCon. She had some fallouts with the VidCon organizers. Fine, whatever. Loads of people have. It's not just her. Several YouTubers don't do VidCon. She had some fallings out, and she decided to make her own event to rival VidCon, right, on the same day, the same times, and I think it was just across the street from VidCon, in fact, so it was close by. It's not like she did it in a different city or anything. And the idea was your favorite content creators were just going to be walking around. You wouldn't pay to meet them. They would just be, the tickets were free. And the problem was she did not plan it out at all. She sold way too many tickets, and I don't believe that any of them really were free, because so many people paid over $100 to get in. So I don't know where those free tickets went or why paid tickets were being sold. But whatever. So many people were stuck outside in the boiling hot California sun for hours, and there was no water or food or any sort of shelter for these people to be in. And that really frightened me, honestly, watching all the coverage of it, because I've been in a situation where I've been stuck outside for a long period of time and I haven't had any water or food available to me, and it's been really boiling. In fact, just last week, I've got a new job. I work outside, and you can't see, but my skin's peeling because I was so sunburned. You can probably see the difference between here and here. It's not a situation you want to be in, and it's not a situation you should want to put your fans in. And she did want to put her fans in that situation because she wanted it for press coverage. There's a video of her saying, my fans, people love to be oppressed outside. And that is disturbing, to say the least. To say that people love to be oppressed outside. I don't know what goes through your head when you say something like that, but whatever it is, cut that out now.
Right now.
I love that for us.
So I feel like 5,200 is a good number.
It would be really, really cool to have people like outside waiting to get in. Like, people love to be oppressed outside. Yeah. They're just like, I waited in the rain. Like, they love that shit. I love that shit.
And they like want to watch influencers arrive too. They're like, ah! Like, they're going crazy.
So yeah, I don't think she really knew what she was doing at all. She was only 19 years old at the time, so I do understand having big plans and not quite realizing how expensive or damaging they're going to be. Hello, I'm in New Zealand and that went horribly wrong, so I get it, but she should have waited another year so the event was perfected and she could have rivaled VidCon that way. And so many of her friends and other creators were stuck not knowing what was happening, or why there were so many people outside in the boiling hot sun. And it was really poorly done. And her apology for it was nonsense. It's just her mumbling. You can't understand a word she says, which again, I get. If you're upset, you're not going to make too much sense because you're so emotional. But write a statement if that is the case. Don't go on a video and just basically scream, because that's not helpful to anyone. I think even still to this day, I've seen people say no, they still haven't received a refund for their tickets and no repercussions were given. And it was a whole mess. I'm going to link some videos in the description of other people who actually went to TanaCon, and Jenna Julian did a podcast on it, which was so informative and interesting, where they spoke to a TanaCon attendee. So I'm going to link that in the description too. You should totally go check that out. Yeah, TanaCon. I don't think your role model should be someone who believes that people love to be oppressed outside, or that is making these half-assed nonsense.
I know, okay? I'm so sorry I let you down, Shane. It's okay, I know. You don't understand. Like, you were everything I've ever wanted to be. And you believing in me, even in the slightest for anything, means the world to me. And to let you down and people who love us and love me and love you down is so heartbreaking. And I don't deserve you to be here right now. I don't deserve you to support me in this. It's not your job, and I'm so sorry.
It sits so wrongly with me. I just do not like it at all. And I think basically the whole internet agrees with me on this because of the amount of videos. Yeah. And last but not least, her newest offence, just a few weeks ago, in fact, the gorgeous Jojo Seewer situation. I cannot defend her on this one. I cannot say I understand or that I get it, because I don't, and I never will, and I don't. And I think if you do, what's going through your head, please, because I need to know. What happened was Tana did a series of dressing up for Halloween. I guess she had a lot of parties to go to. Fine, whatever. She was doing a lot of sexy stuff. Like, she went as a sexy YouTuber. I don't remember the name, but I'll put the picture up. And that's fine because he's a consenting adult. However, she then decided to go as Jojo Seewer, the infamous 15-year-old that I don't know what she's famous for. I think it was Dance Moms. I don't know. She's cute. She's fun. I know a lot of little kids love her. She's got this whole thing where she puts the big bow in her hair and scrapes all her hair to the side. She seems like a real sweetheart, and she's only 15, so there's nothing more to say on that. She's just a child enjoying her life. And Tana decided to dress up as Jojo Seewer, or Jojo Seewer as she kindly named her, by wearing underwear, literally just a bra, and a tutu, and some bows in her hair. She didn't even do her hair up, which, no, that's not the point of this video. Sorry, that's the wrong thing to get mad at. But it was so disgusting, and everyone in the comments was so angry that she would sexualize a child this way, because it was sickening. It was, and not in the good way. It was foul. You should not do that. There's no situation where you look at a 15-year-old and you think, hey, I'm going to dress up as a sexy version of them and tag them in it, especially. That's so uncalled for. It's so disturbing. And I feel like 20 years old is old enough to know exactly what the hell you're doing in terms of dressing up as a child, and whether they're friends or not, which I'm sure they are, which again, I get. One of my best friends is 16 years old, but to me, she's still too young for anything like that to happen. I would not dress as her for Halloween as a sexy version, you know, it's wrong. And it's only a 5-year age gap. Again, I get that, but when the 5 years is underage and adult, it's wrong. She should have put boundaries there. She should have understood that Jojo Seewer is a little girl who does not deserve to be sexualized. It says a lot when Jake Paul dresses as Jojo Seewer as well and does it right. if you're doing something that Jake Paul's also done and he does it right and you do it wrong, it's not great, is it? But yeah, I think that was really disgusting. It really bothered me in ways I can't express. It was just so... it just sits so wrong with me. I don't have words for it. It was gross. But yeah, that's why I don't think she should be a role model. I don't care if you want to watch her. Like I said, I don't care if you're subscribed, if you really love her, whatever. We all have people that are controversial that we really love. For example, I adore PewDiePie to the moon and back, but he's not my role model because I understand the things he's done and I understand that they were wrong. I'm asking you, listen to my points, you look at the evidence given and you say, okay, she's not a good role model. Maybe she's someone I enjoy watching. Maybe she makes jokes that I find funny that others would be offended by, whatever. But please don't use her as someone you want to be, because she's not someone you should want to be. And that's all I'm going to say on that one, really. I don't have anything else to add. I don't have anything constructive to say that isn't just going to sound like bitching. So I'm done with this video. I have got a good role model in mind who is amazing, and she's honestly one of the greatest people on YouTube. I won't be sticking this series just to YouTubers as well, by the way. I have a bunch of people written in my cat book, and some of them are actors, singers, whatever. But the point of this series is really just to say, like the person if you want to, but please reconsider trying to be them or looking to them for advice or to be a role model. And yeah, cool. I'm going to go take some throat medicine now because I'm fed up of sounding like this. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you think of this series. Leave a like, subscribe. All my socials are down below if you want to follow me. And I'll see you next time. Bye, guys. Subscribe.